Hi, welcome to Quested, everybody. We're an actual play podcast where I'm your DM sometimes. This week we are doing a little bit of a catching up / downtime / let's talk about it episode. Just because a lot of shit has happened and we have a lot of conversations off camera that we feel would be beneficial to have on the podcast.
Usually standing outside of the studio.
Yeah, we just
Essentially a fucking third recording.
Yeah, we might as well.
It's legitimately like we will leave here, stand in the parking lot when Emily and Andrew leave, and they'll watch us. And then we get in the car, and then we talk more about it, and then me and Mikey and Kate all talk about it at work, and me and Will text into the darks of the night.
And sometimes Cade, Will, and I go to fucking where were we? Fridays, Applebee's, Chili's.
Yeah.
One of the E's.
So I figured it would be beneficial for us, especially after last week's episode. I personally enjoy when shows do stuff like this, just because I'm a little lore nerd, and I like hearing the background stuff about like authors or people who write stuff that I like.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So this week I will be your question answerer, lore master / sexy talk host guy, who's brought to you with...
I don't know how to fucking go after that. I will be your lore asker / adorable talk show guy. Was that something?
Yeah, that was a string of words for
That was
sure.
a string of words. I'm Ice-T, but I'm a toddler, Mikey Malikowski.
And also...
The physical embodiment of what it feels to chew 5 gum. Child.
And last but not least...
A carton of cold foam, William Rafter.
Damn.
Damn. Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, dude.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
All right, yeah. I forgive you.
I forgive you.
So do you guys have any questions that we want to start off with?
Where do babies come from?
Well, in my world, babies come
In
from...
my world. The
What do we
stork drops
think?
them off.
What do we think about the war in Ukraine?
Oh my god. Not even any questions. I want to say, God.
Did we level up?
Oh, yeah. First
Most
question.
important question.
First question.
Fuck no.
Come
All
on, I let myself be seen, David.
Second question, can we please level up?
In due time.
Third question, will we please?
No.
Will we please?
Will we please?
Fourth question. Will we?
Hey, I tried to disarm him via baby voice.
Usually works.
Where did you get the inspiration for the name of the ignition weapon? And also, was it cool to see the ignition weapon finally given time after like the fucking 7 years you've spent writing this world?
So, I saw this picture of a guy like drawing a sword, and it was like darkness, but it had like a colorfulness to it, like it looked like a drawing of like space or something almost. I can show you guys a picture, but it's like this dude drawing a sword, and it was like the shadows coming out, and I was like going through the higher level spells. It's just Darkstar is just the name of like an 8th level spell.
Really?
Yeah, it seemed really cool, and I was gonna like potentially utilize it with Nina because she's supposed to be like the coven breaker.
Yeah.
And it still might tie into her somehow. But essentially it's like the spell creates a magical darkness that you can't see through with dark vision or anything, and even magical lights can't be created inside of it.
Damn.
But it does like a fuck ton of damage, and it also creates a silence so that people inside of it can't cast spells with verbal components, which is damn near all of them.
Yeah.
So I just thought it would be cool as like I was like, oh, like it'd be so sick if she had this weapon that could essentially like neutralize like fucking like 2/3 of a magic user's ability to cast spells.
Holy hell.
And then I think it was just kind of the name was cool enough to where I didn't feel the need to change it, and Wendell having the weapon was kind of a last second decision. Because I was like writing the whole like scholars thing happening today, and like I was not really sure how I was gonna do it because I'm very procrastinating, so a lot of my stuff gets written last second. So I was like not sure how to write like a cool fight scene between like your sister and the 12 scholars and
That's
Zagreus
what they're called.
and Wendell. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I randomly like wrote down the number 12 because I was like, oh, it'd be sick if like just 12 fucking cloaked dudes showed up.
I could have done with 6, but yeah.
They're the 12 disciples.
No, it's beautiful. it's just a bit. It's a callback, you know.
But yeah, then I like just kind of like ended up with me being like, oh, what if I gave him this? Because that'd be like the perfect like thing to neutralize them.
And that it fucking did.
Yeah, and then also, I think I've talked about the ignition weapon in the episodes, right?
Might have mentioned it.
I think so. I think I might have said something about it, but essentially just as like a refresher, the ignition weapons, I don't even want to say I got the idea from. I am just totally ripping it from a story that I really like. Obviously applying it differently in my world, but they're just like weapons created by the workshop that they're like the weapons of divergence from Critical Role. They're just essentially like weapons that can be like activated and they become more powerful.
I remember from your home game talking about them a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted them to be like a prominent thing in my home game, and I just thought it would be cool to like. I just really like when I cannot think of shit for an episode, I'm just gonna lore dump a bunch of stuff I wrote forever ago.
Without fail is the perfect thing.
Yeah.
That shit is amazing.
Yeah.
I love learning about it.
If anyone else wants to ask something.
Fucking. I'm just greedy. I'm just thinking, like, when are we gonna get to kill the curse takers or
The
whatever?
curse collectors?
Curse collectors.
I want my Ghost of Tsushima moment against Sadie, but now it like sucks even more because I was like, oh, she's gonna kill me. That'll be cool as fuck. And then now I'm like, oh, I might have to try actually. I might have to not just be like, I was gonna let you kill me the whole time. Now I might have to, because if she's gonna be like the big bad.
Her like whole personality kind of, or I don't know if her personality really turned because I didn't know her. But like
the vibe was vastly different from when we ran into her even a couple episodes ago. Right away
when David was talking about how there's like a bed of flowers beneath both of them, I was thinking when your Lara died, like fully died and like his eyes went gray, and Sadie's turned yellow. I was like, oh, is she like possessed by his spirit or some shit?
I was worried about that. I was like, oh, he's doing some fuckery from beyond the grave.
I thought he did some Orochimaru fucking life transference into her or some shit.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you what's going on? Because it's not really like... I'm not really like trying to like pull a quick one with her situation.
Yeah.
They were both chosen by the like blood moon goddess, right?
So, I kind of brought it up, but like, not that I really gave much to like ask about, but like, SK's dad brought up about how the church is into alchemy and everything.
The calcination is because of that?
So, I am kind of like pulling from, like, alchemical philosophy where I think Carl Jung talks about it, where there's like a 4-step process into becoming like a fully realized person. But like in the like he has like other stuff, but like in the like the alchemical shit, there's like 4 steps where one is called the blackening, where essentially you are like, and this is me paraphrasing like a fuck ton because I'm not like learned on the subject at all, but like you start off by like having like the worst shit, like, you know, the what is it called, the Dark Night of the Soul or something.
Yeah, it's a good movie. No one popped off on that one.
But essentially, like, it's like the first step is like being presented with like the worst thing possible, and it like forces you to kind of like acknowledge all the shit that you were ignoring. And then the second step is called the whitening, where it's like purifying. So I wasn't really trying to be like, I definitely wanted to have like you guys be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Because of the connection between the two of them.
Yeah, because I was like, I cannot let that happen.
Yeah, but it's not meant to be like he took over her body. It's just to show that there was like a similar connection. There's also another thing that'll probably get brought up a little bit more. There's something called like a rebus in alchemy, where it's about the conjoining of the sun and the moon, or the male and the female.
Oh.
And
Think Reba.
I was trying to like
Think Reba McEntire.
Pepe Sylvia,
Rebus
like
McEntire.
Rebus McEntire. My alchemical mother.
That's the new fucking light novel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted the calcination to be. There's like a fuck ton of other things that I'm pulling from. But the calcination is like the first step of like a 12-step process of creating the Philosopher's Stone.
I was gonna ask if this was like some Philosopher's Stone bullshit.
Kind of, but like the opposite of it. Like, they're not, without saying what I'm actually doing, like it is in line with that, but they're not creating a Philosopher's Stone.
You said the opposite?
I mean, once like everything gets revealed, that'll make more sense. Because that's not actually what I'm doing, but like I am like fully fucking taking shit from that.
No, that's
just
super
because
interesting. Even just that is super fucking interesting.
So many of the stories that I like have been consuming and like enjoy the most have a lot of like themes with that. Like obviously Full Metal Alchemist, Elden Ring talks about like a rebus. Well, they don't actually bring it up, but like I saw this fucking whole video about it. Hell's Paradise, they have stuff that's pretty much in line with that. But there's just like a fuck ton of stories that like go into that, where it's like they draw from the idea of like philosophical alchemy and like the whole like all that process, but they kind of do their own spin on it. So this is basically just like my version of that.
It's hot.
Thank you. But yeah, I wanted there to be a connection between your Lara, because he was the male host, and the vessel could not be completed until there was also like a girl host.
Interesting.
So they needed to find somebody who was compatible, which just ended up being Sadie.
What's that satyr shit about? Was he like, were those glasses of disguised self or something?
So that was kind of like I came up with that after, because like a lot of stuff I will put out there and leave vague in the beginning, just because of like, I mean, that's classical like cosmic horror shit where like you don't know everything, but a lot of it is me figuring it out after the fact. And with that specifically, the thing that I'm pulling from, because I already said like,
was his like rebirth form a satyr? Is that the whole thing? Or?
So he was originally a person, but he became a satyr. He's supposed to be like the representation of Pan.
Oh my god.
Because the
trickster boy.
The thing that they're connected to, she's called the Black Goat of the Woods with 1,000 Young. And it's like supposed to be connected to the like Pan is supposed to be like an avatar for this like otherworldly being.
Damn.
Yeah. And she's also like the goddess of fertility, but she's all like represented by like a giant black goat with like fucking thousands of eyes and shit.
Horrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
With your Lara gone, does that change anything about the plan? Because they were just waiting for like a girl host.
Yeah.
But your Lara's dead now.
So it started in your Lara, but then was transferred to
Oh.
Sadie intentionally.
So does it have to transfer again?
No.
Oh,
It
it's,
just
like,
needed
complete?
one in the end. It just needed a
One
girl and a
transfer.
guy.
At
Yeah.
one point of time,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, okay.
Is that what's going on with Sen now?
Well, Sen is just getting controlled because he's a minion of the color, right?
Yeah, basically.
all
He's
it
like
is?
the child of the...
Oh, and
So
the
that's-
blood moon is
Turn.
waking them up?
Huh?
And the
Yeah.
blood moon is waking these children up?
The blood moon, yeah, it essentially like has like a regional effect to it. But when the vessel of the goddess of fertility like shows itself, the blood moon rises.
Jesus Christ. So we're fucked.
Poor Sen.
We're fucked. Yeah, dude was
My
just
buddy.
getting
I know.
cool.
I know. Save the dude's life for what?
You're like, poor Sen, and after every episode, you're like, I'm just waiting to throw him into danger so
Nope.
that I don't know.
I wanted him to just stand there and cover my back while I was shooting people from far away. Now he can't fucking do that.
You can either say I wanted to make a friend who could help me, but you always phrased it as he was going to be my meat shield when I needed it.
Yeah.
Those
Maybe
are
a friendship would have developed.
Yeah.
two
I mean,
different intentions
You're in
there.
the cockpit together that long. I mean, you're going to become friends.
Exactly.
But at first.
Have you thought about why Bowie was in that last memory yet?
Fuck, no.
I think I figured it out.
I
Or at least like figured out why you were there. I don't know why. I don't know what it means after, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's because of his association with the filth now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I think I've taken Bowie being stupid on like another level. Because when I play him now, I like zone the fuck out. Like
You're just also like,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm
like,
doing. I'm pretending.
I don't know. I was like, I'm pretending, but also like all of this shit is confusing to me because there's so much going on.
Well, and it's also like we keep saying this after the episodes too. There's no fucking reprieve, man.
No, it's
like,
just
we
like,
our
you're getting
characters never
hammered.
get 10 minutes
Bro.
to fucking think about shit.
Oh.
Back shots 24/7.
Yeah, literally.
That's what it fucking feels. Well, it's not what it feels like. That
My legs are shaking.
I am queasy. I need electrolytes.
I'm dehydrated. Right?
Yeah, I'm definitely emotionally dehydrated from the slog that this has been, but it's been incredible to be a part of.
Well, it's kind of like half intentional and also like half of me just trying to like.
All killer, no filler.
I have I have the vision. I have a lot of like shit figured out, but I mean obviously like from the beginning I was throwing stuff in there where it was like I knew kind of the direction it was going in, but also I was trying to like, you know, story purposes, narratively like trying to leave shit vague so that I didn't have to like I didn't need every single fucking thing like written for because it's just not really like I mean, that's not really how it works for me.
No. Well, it's not-
Traditionally, because you guys
yeah.
are like going to do stuff that I'm not expecting, and obviously everyone's ideas change.
Yeah, and you're not going to railroad us.
Yeah. So I am just trying to like honestly like I am purposefully like throwing so much shit that you guys can't really stop to do stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of urgency.
Yeah, that's good.
But I am like... So I want to know why you were working for the workshop. Because you're inextricably tied to them somehow.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of it is up in the air for me. Dude, it's just so much to think about.
Is Bella a drow?
Is Bella a drow?
Who?
Bella?
Isabella? No? Okay. I was like, is that your sister?
Well, it's just a lot to take in because it seems like... Well, we're not going to really know until I know why I was with the group. Because we keep saying that I was with the group, but we don't know why.
Yeah.
We don't know what I was doing.
So
Yeah.
I named
2 of them.
2 of them. Who do you think? Do you guys think you might know who the other 2 are?
Other 2 people
No.
in the group.
So there's 5 altogether.
So it's Isabella,
Ben and
Ben, and
The bearded guy.
shithead, Dr.
Scientist.
Julius's brother.
you can say his name if you want to. That's up to you.
I do not know if I remember his name off the top of my head.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
I didn't intentionally not say it. I just didn't.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
Dr. Elric Vitayo, right?
Vitayo. Oh, so it's
Viteo, yeah.
Viteo.
So it's Baron Viteo, Baron Julius Viteo.
That's not his last name.
Oh, they got different last names.
His last name is Carnell, so it's Julius Carnell. Yeah.
Ooh.
I wanted to give him I can't remember what it was, but I had a name for him, and it was essentially like the last name. And this is I know I'm going to say this out loud, and you guys are going to try and make a connection, but there truly is no connection because one came after the other. The name I was going to give him, it meant filth.
Oh.
But it was just because he is a shitty person. It has nothing to do with what's going on
Sure,
right now. That's
buddy, sure, yeah.
No, I swear
David
to God.
Ramos doesn't have it all connected.
No, but
Sure, buddy.
the last name, I can't remember which character it is, but I was like, why does this sound so familiar? And I looked it up, and it's like one of the fucking Harry Potter characters.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
Oh,
I'm not going to
God.
do that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Just gonna be speed Googling that shit.
Yeah.
But no, yeah,
Oh,
2 other people.
Filch.
Filch.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like, it sounds like filth.
Filch.
And then I was like, I'm not going to do that.
I feel ya.
2 other dudes, 2 other people that could be in this shit. I don't fucking know. Who else in the story has forgotten stuff or is sketchy? I feel like if it, you want to talk to SK's dad. I'm like, well, no, but he's like a church guy. He's with the order. I don't imagine he'd be working with the workshop very much. Who the fuck else? Wendell Kraft.
I wonder.
You did a little smirk. You did a little
Oh,
smirk. Wendell
bro, it
Kraft.
had to be because he had a party who killed him and kept him at the tree.
And the ignition weapons are from the workshop.
Yeah.
You killed that motherfucker, probably.
Hell yeah. I shot him with my gun.
So you're the guy that made guns, right?
That would be pretty fucking
The audio
sick.
listeners, David looked at Kate, and Kate looked at David.
I mean, that's not like,
That would be super funny too, because now I'm asking Billy about how to do shit.
I mean, if you want to do that as a thing, I'm super down with that.
That would be kind of cool. Well, do like the audio listeners know that this is tied into like your homebrew campaign and
I've
shit?
talked about it. I
Yeah.
talked about it on our like episode 0 where we like talked about doing this, and then
But who knows who listened to that? To be honest.
Yeah, true.
like,
Because
I mean,
that would be kind of cool. That would be a cool like origin story of guns.
If you are listening to this and you haven't listened to the episode 0, this campaign just kind of is heavily tied with my homebrew campaign. That's where like the Iron Alliance, the workshop, the ignition weapons,
everything out east, basically, right?
yeah,
is-
literally the entire East Empire is like all shit that I wrote for a homebrew campaign that I just haven't been able to run yet. So this is kind of like a precursor to that.
And have been writing since 2017 or
So
whatever, dude.
it's changed so significantly, but yeah, I've been writing it for a stupid long time.
Crazy.
True. It's been mad long.
I think I said this to you guys, but I think it would be fun to say on the podcast. They haven't really been brought up as much as I wanted them to be. The Pinkertons.
Yeah.
I wrote this after, but I wanted it to be that like I was trying to think of a way where they could survive in the pollution, because like if they're traveling.
Don't they have the lanterns or whatever?
So yeah, they have special lanterns, but they also make like contracts with cursed creatures. And they learned it from people out west, or not out west, out east. It's like a tradition out east to like have like guardian spirits.
So they get like guardian cursed spirits? kind
Yeah,
of thing?
their leader essentially like learned this from basically like a monastery.
Yeah.
And they applied it to being out west because the spirits like emit like a force that like protects them essentially, and their lanterns are like a spell focus to like summon them.
That's so cool.
And it's using this is me doing a shit ton of lore dumping again, but it's the wax from the lanterns is Solomon's wax.
Solomon, that motherfucker.
Solomon is
again.
one of like the mythical figures
First
from the
tiefling?
past. No, that's Cain.
Cain
was the first tiefling. Solomon was like an evil wizard king.
I just think of magic because the magic blood tiefling shit. Deep well of
lot of information.
Speaking of information, Wyatt fucking Dumay.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's a will name if I've ever fucking heard one, bro. That's crazy.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
So that's who Luther.
Yeah, that's who Wyatt Dumay is. The person before Luther. He was the inhabitant of this body before Luther's mind sort of came to be.
Holy shit.
I've talked to David so much about it because it's such like a weird thing to sort of think about, where like just becoming an entirely different person because of like all these like magical surgeries that he underwent and all the revisions that he underwent, just like permanently changing him and like what was the word I used? Like revising him. Sort
Calling
of
it
like,
revisions crazy.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, when you text, so like Will texted me and I like started laughing because the idea that he sent me was like way more well thought out, but like so close to what was actually happening.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
You fucking do that all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
like I will 1,000% like just lay it out on the table. Like a lot of what the Omen the entire basically Omen project and the revision idea, like that all came straight from Will. But it was just funny because it was like I had an idea for like him being connected to the workshop, and Toother obviously was like just basically like, hey, people are still kind of, I mean, you guys already put that together, but then Will texted me and was like, what if this was happening? And I was like, it's so it is. I was like, you basically like were just like picked up an idea that I kind of had, and then was like, I'm gonna write this whole section for you. And I was like, that makes my life a lot easier. It's very cool.
It's so sick.
It was really cool because I was looking back through our texts like last week's episode, just like reviewing the shit that we had talked about, and God, like all the Omen shit was so cool. Like I was so happy when we agreed on that.
Yeah, because I think I said something along the lines of you being like, but I didn't mean it literally. I like said something about like Luther being an Omen. Someone said that, and you were like, you said that Luther's design was based off of
Margit, Margit from Elden Ring, the Fell Omen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
When you described the horn and the hair, I was like, I see that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's one of the main people on Luther's character board, alongside like fucking Frankenstein and a hillbilly.
And goddamn O'Driscoll.
Yeah, just a toothless hillbilly on a porch. Rocking back and forth all day. But
Ain't that the life, though?
yeah. So I thought it was really cool that we got to include all of that into the story, and like having bad omens and shit. And like I think we also talked about how like I didn't mention it in the episode because I just forgot it, I think, but the scientists of the workshop began the Omen project because they'd heard a prophecy of like some sort of like force or creature that would bring about like the end of the world.
Oh my god.
or some shit. So they're like, we're gonna make it.
But it's
Like,
literally
we're gonna
the
create
curse
that.
eater, right? Or not the curse eater, the curse weaver. Huh?
No, that's different.
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure, it's different.
Sure.
Sure, it's different,
It's
David.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I mean I was just like, oh, yikes!
Mhm.
There's so much bad shit around. Like this whole thing is just.
Yeah.
I feel like we like get a step further, and I'm like, oh, I would like to go back there. Like, this shit sucks.
Let's revisit
It's amazing.
Yeah.
This shit sucks.
Just
For
by
real.
way of because you guys are like obviously fucking creating history in this part of the world. Like curse weaver is not like it's something that somebody could stumble upon like as like a curse that they get.
Yeah.
But Sadie just happens to be like the fucking connected like directly to the main source of that. So it is something that like it's the same thing with fucking Zagreus with his like his ability is curse exorcism, and that's something that like other people could have, though it is like a rare ability. But him progressing it to the point of unlocking the curse eater version of it is like
He took a lot of time.
it took a lot of time, skill, and like literally like losing his fucking mind to be able to do it.
And they said that you have to like do the whole spirit, the fucking
Her
Deadland shit,
her
right?
thing specifically, like
Like the curtain.
if the curtain thing never happened, Sadie probably. I mean, this is just like hindsight, because definitely not in the moment. I wasn't thinking about this, but like if I were to go back and be like, oh, the veil thing never happened, I might have just like, obviously this is me now because this was not even in my brain back then. Sadie, like, I would probably give her the Curse Weaver like as a base ability.
I was gonna say, like, was this, if I never did the reaching out to the filth, would you have ever?
No, fuck.
No?
It was not even in my mind to do that. It just like so happened to fall that way.
So this is fun that we get to do this. So how would the Sadie shit have gone?
I did not
if I didn't do
plan on. I kind of just like. I think I might have said this to you outside of the podcast. I kind of like wasn't even thinking about her. Like in my mind, I was content with having her just back off.
Yeah.
Because when I wrote her shit, when we talked about it, I wanted to like, I didn't want to sit there and be like, oh, you're a piece of shit for doing all of this. I just wanted her to be a character who was like, I mean, I guess I was trying to write her as like in the right in that situation.
She is, you know what I mean?
But like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have her show up. I'm gonna have her basically like find out what happened, like what you are, and then have her just be like, all right, go fuck yourself. I don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with you anymore because you're bad for me. And then just I was okay with having her not come up again.
And I had to
But
go run my mouth and go, give me my Ghost of Tsushima moment.
You kept saying stuff, so I was ready to like. I think it was going to develop more towards the Barons than it has towards the Curse Collectors. I was just kind of. I mean, the Pinkertons are obviously like not off the table. They never were.
Yeah. It's just they're like they've been, because the way we like planned it was they were gonna be like the people.
Yeah.
But that was just like, well,
I have that. Yeah.
given everything going on.
Yeah, that's kind of like just the way that it's developed. It's not something that I like have completely just like gotten rid of. Like, obviously, like it's
Yeah.
still something I wanted to go with, but like with how the past couple episodes have gone, when she first showed up, I was like, oh, she's gonna bounce, and then I was like, well, I still need the Pinkertons to be like a problem. But there was so much shit happening already that I was like, I don't know how to like fit them in without just adding like a fucking whole ass different story.
She was with the Pinkerton dude, right?
Yeah.
Where the
But
fuck is that guy?
He was, yeah, so when you showed up to Toother, he wasn't there. You don't know where he is.
Dude just left,
I wonder. Well, no, he
couldn't,
He couldn't have
yeah.
left.
right?
'Cause we were all
he's
sealed-
dead or
Yeah, he either got just. I wonder if he just got ate up by Toother. Toother's like
that
fucking
makes a lot of
chainsaw
sense.
stomach.
Sorry, brief fucking little yoink of conversation. Another alternate reality thing. the whole Pinkertons was supposed to be like bigger because Nate was also going to be when Nate was going to play, but couldn't because of scheduling and shit. He was supposed to be on the run from Pinkertons as well. Because
Oh, damn.
we buried that guy together.
Yeah.
Furman Abernathy and I.
Yeah,
Burning
fucking the ghost girl that you guys met.
Yeah.
Who like what? I think it's so funny. It's so stupid, not important at all. But she's not a ghost. She just has a ghost curse, a la Danny Phantom style.
Oh my god, I love that.
She was the dude who you killed, his partner. I think she said that to you though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah.
we were in the afterlife place.
Yeah.
And I was like,
They're like, we're a team now.
Yeah. Join up. Join
Yeah.
the crew.
yeah. I thought I didn't like her.
No,
You didn't. You were like-
didn't, yeah.
You were like eyeballing. You're
You
like
were ready to.
you're ready to pound.
I was like, we have to.
we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pulled us aside after we were like, damn, she's cool, and you're like, so we're gonna kill her, right?
Yeah.
we're gonna murder her.
Bowie
right?
Bowie is Barry coded. He is a bad guy convincing himself that he is doing the right thing, and that's how I wanted to play it because I always play little like bookish, antisocial, fucking
Yeah.
like nerdy dudes or like just super hot mystical people, and I'm like, I want to play someone who sucks.
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, that was just like how I presented it to you guys. Was like I didn't want you to play like the typical heroes
Yeah.
because I was just like, I don't know. It just felt weird to have like a. I wanted to do a Western, and how I always like picture Western stories is like the heroes aren't necessarily like the hero. Or, I mean, I guess there is like the fucking
Traditional,
white
yeah.
cowboy, white horse.
Coming in to save
Yeah,
everybody, yeah.
fucking sheriff starred motherfucker. And I was just like, it'd be way more interesting if this was like the neo-Western, like, end of an era, like a bunch of shitty people who can only survive because they're shitty.
Yeah.
And that, like, with the fucking Eldritch shit, like, tied into it, really fucking leaned me in the direction of, like, asking you guys to make more, like, shitty people.
It's fun. I can't wait to see how Ben is shitty because so far he's been chill as fuck.
I don't think, I mean, Cade kind of came in a little bit later, so, I mean, his character...
I don't know how much you yourself have veered from like our initial talks, because when we were first like developing, my character was like a kind of like a different story, you know.
Yeah,
Like
I
he
mean,
didn't take a curse on at first.
yeah, so I've definitely, like, I think the initial, like, idea and the heart of Ben's character is still the same. It is still the same, I just have changed the outcome.
Oh well, I have not. Everything you presented me, I've been like, what the fuck? So like it's definitely a lot different. But yeah, I think like it was just a wholly different thing when we initially started that like thought process.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Well, because do you want to talk... You don't have to, like, go into, like, the backstory stuff or, like, the outcome we came to, but... Because you originally... Like, the philosophy behind Ben's character was, like, how far is someone willing to go for knowledge? Right?
Yeah. It was like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
It was kind of like is it ignorance is bliss? Like, is there validity to that?
Yeah.
Well, I could see that though. I could still see the like how far will you go because you at every turn you are like if I see a thing relating to the color or any of these like cursed objects, I'm gonna go fucking touch it and I'm gonna like chase.
There is
something
like
down.
a morbid curiosity. We, luckily, because I got involved with this so quickly. What's up?
I'm pulling strings from everywhere and connecting them. I'm just thinking, what if Ben, like, in his forgotten memories, what if Ben gave himself a curse to forget the shit that he already found out?
Well, see, this is the story. I don't know how much has changed.
And that's why it hurts him.
That makes sense.
But the initial story was Ben was on, like, a religious mission with a group to defeat this, like, entity.
Yeah.
And it fucked him up real bad. and the whole draw to the west and the being blind. Ben thought initially that was his offering. He was like, I'll offer you my sight so like I can live and give me a purpose.
Yeah.
And the purpose was go west, go west, go west. And then at the very end, like the realization is after he gets his memories back that the whole go west thing, like this presence he thought was a deity that saved his life, is just the last memory he actually has from that time.
Jesus.
Because his mission then was go west, like go defeat this thing west.
So that's
so
all
essentially,
he can think of.
essentially the whole thing at the end of Ben's story was it was all for nothing essentially.
That
Because
hurts.
like his whole drive is go west, and then he finds out like, oh, I already went west and got my shit rocked.
I got bombed.
Yeah, like I got fucked
All
up
my
when I
friends
went west.
fucking
Yeah.
died.
Just essentially like making it much less significant, I guess. But obviously it's taken a much different turn. I feel like
Yeah.
Ben is very, very significant.
Because I feel like, because then I'm like, why is fucking Dr. Mr. Scarhead there and alive still?
So I will say, I guess just for some clarity, the way that I initially thought of it, and maybe this was a misinterpretation on my part, and it's the way that I've been writing it, is I was not imagining, like, not that I didn't imagine Ben's initial like crusade as a religious one. I just like I didn't imagine your entire group being on like the same religious thing. I was writing it more from the perspective of like the pursuit of knowledge, and that's why like the tablet of the gods has become a prominent thing.
We didn't even talk about that.
Oh shit, yeah.
See, and now understanding that, before I wasn't sure my connection would. So now it would make sense that I would be working with the workshop directly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because they're knowledge motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, like, if from your perspective Ben was on the religious journey, that's still 100% fine. It doesn't go against anything that I've, like, changed it into. I just have added more facets to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, originally, like, when we talked about it, I wanted to know if you wanted, like, because you, like, still what we've talked about is like injected into what I'm doing, like that hasn't changed. But like I remember I was like, do you want to know what the memories are? And you like as Cade were like,
Oh yeah,
This
because
is-
this is just so much more interesting. Like when I find out something, when Ben finds it out too, we're both just like, what the fuck?
I really do hope you see SK's dad and let him see you and shit.
Yeah.
That would be a really cool
Yeah.
scene.
Because I want to know.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, now I just want to. Now I just want to know. Now I'm just like, we're gonna have to have a whole fucking lore dump episode where I just fucking learn all this shit.
God. Oh, the Tablet of the Gods.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
What the F?
Yeah, and also the beings beyond the veil.
Eldritch motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's no gods. Maybe no gods.
yeah, I think as we've been doing this, and I kind of talked to you guys about it, because Mikey and Will both developed characters for my homebrew campaign, but it was so long ago, so
Yeah.
fucking long ago that I like my idea of how I wanted to approach religion in my campaign has changed. Where originally, like, I just kind of like, for my own peace of mind, I was just like, I'm just gonna do like the regular like Forgotten Realms Pantheon, and then I was just gonna like have more of like, or not an emphasis, just more of an influence from like Eldritch shit, where like that just existed in tandem with it. But then like, I don't know, I always hate, not that I hate it, but like from a writing perspective, I don't typically enjoy the God plot lines. I like them, but I hate being the DM for a story where I'm like, I'm going to put a god in, and he's going to talk directly to you, and you're going to get to know his motivations, and you're going to, like... I don't like portraying them. I feel like writing them's very hard, because it's like, how do you write an omnipotent being, or someone who is supposed to be, like, all-powerful? Because I had fucking... Mephistopheles in the Curse of Strahd campaign, and you guys tabletopped him. So,
Oh my god, yeah. I remember that.
I forgot about that shit.
I do not
An
enjoy...
archdevil.
Yeah, I do not enjoy putting someone who is supposed to be, like... It just always feels like the expectations are too high, and then, like, what the resulting, like, moment is, it is always so fucking, like... It just always falls flat to me. So I was like, I mean, I guess it is like you can kind of view it as like a cop out to have like unknowable, like undescribable, reachable things, but
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting from like a horror perspective to have like you don't like there are gods, like the traditional gods that people worship, but then there's some motherfucker who's like connected to a religious order who's like gods might be dead. Like they
Yeah.
just might not be there and people might be worshiping the fucking void.
Yeah, when he was like, this isn't knowledge given to, like, the Commonwealth, I was like, it probably fucking should be, because
Yeah.
you'll have dudes like me being like, help me, and it's like, I am the deep filth of the underworld.
Yeah.
Well, but I
I'm
mean,
like, sick,
the
cool,
way-
I was just trying to, not die.
Dope.
the way that I imagine it, and I mean, it's pretty fucking, it's predicated in, like, the real world as
Yeah,
well. where,
they
like-
wouldn't be telling everybody
No,
about this
well,
shit.
because, I mean, if you told, like, if the fucking Pope told the world, like, oh, we know what's going on, and fucking the dude upstairs is, like, he died.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people would be like, oh, this dude's he's crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, I imagined it as, like, the church in my world uses religion to control people, and, of course, they're going to let you worship who you want to worship, because it's easier to be like, this is what your God would want, than
Yeah.
fucking, like...
Be like, there's unknowable creatures, and if you reach out to them, they'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. I just feel like there are people who keep secrets for a reason, and it's mainly to just control, like, the general populace.
Yeah.
Just
But
sounds
that's-
like real life.
Yeah. Very close to
You're
real
like,
life,
so the
dude.
church manipulates people. I'm like, yeah.
Where do I know that from?
Are we still talking about D&D or are we just talking?
Well, because I talked to Mikey about this, and, like, I wanted, I kind of, like, just landed on having my homebrew campaign be, like, emulating the Holy Wars,
Yeah.
where it was like, we don't like those people, so go and fucking kill them.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like emulating that in this story, where it's like I never wanted to give a definitive answer, and maybe if it ever comes up as like a plot line, or if it's pursued, or if I don't know, I might change my mind or fucking feel like it fits better. But I wanted it to kind of be like not me telling you, because like every character that I have, like they know what they know, and like I might give them a little bit knowledge because of fucking whatever reason I want to give it to them. Like I figured SK's dad he's connected to like high up people, and like he himself is a high up person, so like he probably knows way fucking more than any other fucking person, like even most people would know. But I still felt like him saying that is the like beliefs that he has tied himself to.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the truth.
Yeah,
but-
it doesn't. Yeah, he knows what he knows and has come to the conclusions that he's come to, and he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't like gods and shit.
Yeah.
I just figured it'd be way more interesting to have it be like up in the air, and it's like, well,
You
this is
were
what this is what we thought was happening. We could be completely fucking wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, also, we didn't even talk about the origins of the pink journal, the pink notebook
Oh yeah.
from your
finally.
fucking daughter, dude.
Sad.
Sad.
I don't know if you ever like wanted to return to that, or if that was in the plans at all. But I was
We've
like,
talked about it.
me being like, the pages are empty, we should find who has them. Was like, we should find Luther's daughter if she's still around.
True.
Unless you're like hundreds of years old, but that old dude is still kicking,
What old dude?
or might be still kicking. The doctor fucking,
True. Who's to say?
who is to say? This guy. Hey, I know somebody who's to say.
I know somebody who could say something.
But yeah, I was like, this is fucked.
Yeah, I was really glad that we finally got to do that. Finally got to share his backstory and where he came from.
I like I feel like I keep trying to like breadcrumb in backstory stuff. I mean, with you like you're like a shifty guy, but you're not really like hiding. Like you were hiding the shit with your family, but like that you brought that up pretty early.
Yeah. I didn't bring it up to the group. I brought it up to the I did like an
Yeah,
audio whatever,
yeah,
but then
yeah.
I told the group pretty much immediately.
Yeah, so like yours was kind of like easy to get. No, I don't want to say get out of the way because it's still happening.
No,
and,
but I wanted to get it out of the way because I was like, this informs a lot of the vibe.
yeah, I mean yours I think was like definitely like all of the information was like laid out before everybody, even though it only really like fully came out when Sadie was involved, which is
Yeah.
fucking in hindsight like only a couple episodes ago.
Which to us, it's like months.
Forever.
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
Actually so long ago.
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
And
So it was
then
May, right? Like,
I have
Oh my
no
God,
idea.
Probably.
And then your stuff, I remember I brought it up to you where I was like, I want to bring it up, but then I also don't want to like spoil the long thread of like mystery behind it.
Yeah.
But then I like want it, like I just, when you were like, I'm going to eat Toother's heart, and then we talked about it after, about doing the changes, and then you had the Omen idea, and I was like, what perfect way to like juxtaposition the horrific change that you've gone through with a memory of your daughter.
Yeah.
And then you had the whole journal idea, which was just too perfect, and it just kind of all came out.
calling her tumbleweed fucked me.
Yeah,
up.
that was so fucking sweet.
I was like, that's so cute. Too
It's-
bad she's probably not alive.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a fucking. I was trying to think of some Western nickname that I could come up with.
Little tumbleweed.
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 And then yours is like trying to put your memories in there. My original idea with your thing was like you guys find out stuff about you, and then it becomes a part of your goal, and then it was the ultimate culmination of like what you talked about with Ben's character. But you guys figured it out like on your own, like immediately, basically. Like we had conversations where you were like, we think this is happening, and I was like, that is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and you just had to stay quiet and like,
Yeah.
interesting.
And it was like, it was a proud moment because my biggest thing is like, as the person writing all of this is like, I always want people to logically infer what's happening in the story on their own without me having to be like, this is why this is happening, and like me having a fucking whole like
Yeah.
conspiracy board of like threads tied together where like you guys were like, no, and it was like half being proud that I actually like had a fucking logically coherent storyline that was like, we figured this out, and then the other half of it was like, oh, was it too easy to figure out?
No, it was fucking not.
No.
But
No, we're just all fucking psychos. And can't stop thinking about it when it's over.
I will
It's
say,
hard to not.
It is.
It's
It
very
is.
hard to not think about it.
Incredibly.
I will say that as the ideas have changed over time, I am pretty proud of the direction that things are going in, just because. Like, I always talk to Mikey about this when we're at work and I'm just rambling about shit, but I always get so mad when it gets close to episodes because in my head I'm just like, I just need to figure this thing out and I can put it in. And I always feel like I don't want to, like, pull the trigger on something until I, like, feel comfortable with the idea. And then I'll have, like, an epiphany moment where, like, something just makes sense. Like, the shit with, like, Sadie. Like, we were literally having a conversation, and I was like, oh, no, I know what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. And
'Cause-
hey, man, fuck you.
Originally, like, the way that I was, like, originally, like, going to do the story, and, like, obviously it was just, like, I'll just do this if I can't think of stuff. I was just going to, like, throw in, like, eldritch, like, beings and, like, have you guys, like, encounter them and then just have the story develop with your backgrounds.
Mm.
And I threw in the color out of space from the H.P. Lovecraft story, just because I was like, oh, this would be really cool to watch. And there's I have this book by Sandy Peterson. It's the Call of Cthulhu 5e book
Yeah.
that I like drawn a lot of my ideas from, and I'm using pretty heavily actually. But like they had the color in there. They had like the color of space like block, and I was like, oh, this would be so fucking sick to use. And I was like, but I had different ideas originally, so I changed it a little bit, and then I wasn't really gonna come back to it, but then I was coming up with the Curse Collectors plot, and I was like, why were they in the mountain? Why are they doing all this stuff? And I was like really trying to tie it in with like your Lara being there, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it. And then,
So at the beginning of the story, you didn't have an idea?
no,
Damn.
So I originally had I had the idea that they were like fucked over by, like they were like experimented on by the Barons and like given up by their like group of people. Yeah, they're the people that like raised them. Because I wanted to give them a reason like why they were so like bound together, like had such like a love for each other as a group. But I wanted it to be like they were fucked over, and now they're just going to the extreme of fucking everyone else over. And they're not good people, but, like, I wanted to give them, like, a good enough reason.
Yeah, which was very good reason, dude.
But I had that, not originally in the beginning. Like, I came up with them as a group, and I based them off of, heavily based them off of the Phantom Troop from Hunter x Hunter. And because I wanted, like, the Akatsuki group of my story.
Yeah.
And I came up with them. I came up with the reason, which has changed, but like it was kind of always like in that realm. And then their plan, which is to create like the ultimate curse, basically, that kind of came later. Because I was like, I didn't know what I wanted them to do.
Yeah.
And then I eventually was just like, well, like, why are they doing all of this stuff? And I was like, well, it would be cool. There's I will briefly bring it up, but I don't want to talk about it too much because it's going to get brought up later. But I can't. It's currently they talk about it in Jujutsu Kaisen, but it was also in Kengan Ashura. They talk about, I think it's called a Gyu poison. It's like a thing in Japan, but in China they have another thing called I think it's called a Ko-box or a cone box, something.
Something box?
It's essentially like a box where they put a bunch of venomous creatures into, and they all like eat each other, and like they mix their poison together, and then whatever comes out of it is like the ultimate version of that poison.
Holy hell.
Yeah, so I was like drawing on that idea for their whole like plot. Jesus.
How did you stumble upon this information?
It's just from constantly like
from
reading stuff.
That's
and
fucking crazy.
Yeah, because I like to read, and then I'll like read people's like analyses of stuff. And they talked about I remember originally being introduced to the idea of the Gyu poison from Kengan Ashura because they have a thing where this group, I can't remember what the name of the group is, but they essentially like sent in a bunch of fighters into a room and locked them in there, and then they were like, fight to the death. And then one dude comes out, and he's supposed to be like the culmination of all of them.
Jesus.
And then in not Kengan Ashura, in Jujutsu Kaisen, they like pretty much not explicitly bring it up, but like one of the main characters, the thing that they're doing kind of has to do with that. And people taught like in like threads that I read, like talked about the connections to it.
That's fucking sick.
And I was just like, that's such a cool idea. And then I was like reading up about the Gyu poison and the fucking box. And I was like, it's very interesting.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Christ. What haven't we talked about?
That's kind of like the Omen program too.
Yeah. That's what I like about all of it, because like I wanted there to be like similar philosophies that were drawn on based on like what the people who originally were in the West were doing. So everything's connected in a way, kind of by accident, but also like purposeful accident. Like I'm trying to lead it. I've always been like trying to push it in that direction. I just wasn't sure how I was going to connect everything. But the workshop, the Omen project, the Curse Collectors, Wendell, because Wendell did curse experiments.
Yeah, so it seems like all these different groups are sort of vaguely trying to achieve the same thing.
Basically. And
Is
that's
my being with Luther not an accident?
Cause you knew the fucking doctor, and you guys woke up together, right? Like,
I was just in a cave.
From
in the
what
middle
I
of
from
the
what I
desert.
remember is all that I can remember is that I've been traveling with Luther.
that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
How mad is Luther gonna be when he figures out the whole truth? Is Luther gonna fucking kill me?
Oh my god.
Who knows?
No, yeah, but I wanted everyone to kind of, like, all the groups.
That's fucked up.
That is so bad.
I wanted all the groups to kind of, like, have different methods of trying to achieve a similar thing.
Goddamn, dude.
I'm excited for
that's
you guys to
insane.
find out who the other two,
Yeah,
or
me too.
Oh, so
The
Wendell,
last one?
we didn't
So,
even wait. Let's
there's
get.
one
Did we
last
establish
We didn't
that
establish one last one. We were like Wendell Craft probably,
Wendell Craft?
and
Well,
was it one of the Barons?
we got to start thinking about Wendell Craft and Bella. They're kind of like legends. Like,
She became the Phantom Lord. That's
yeah,
pretty
that's what I'm
fucking
saying. We
crazy.
got to start looking at people we've met that are kind of like Eudora.
Imagine if it was Eudora's.
I was gonna say something equally as insane. I was gonna go Tyler.
Yeah, we turned him into the
Pre-door.
fucking door.
Pre-door Tyler.
Or like,
Pre-door
actually,
Tyler.
Tyler's fucking annoying.
Wait.
I forgot about that.
Holy shit. What if you're just dropping off people and making them forget? Because Tyler went crazy down in the caves and he doesn't remember shit as far as I know. Like dropped Bella off at the afterlife, Wendell off at the tree.
Bella actually though is the only one. Bella's the only one out of all of the group that knows.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
she
the one that
remembered.
remembers.
She
everything.
remembered me.
The Doc might remember too.
Well,
Yeah, we
You
haven't met the doctor yet.
yeah.
Haven't met the doctor, and you weren't face to face with Wendell.
That's true. We don't know what Wendell knows. I might be the only one that doesn't remember shit.
Oh,
We don't know enough
Fuck.
about everyone else.
Oh god.
But
So
yeah, this
there's
fourth,
so many people it could be.
this fourth person, yeah, it's probably gonna be someone of legend.
I want you guys to all say who you think the last person might be.
Have we met them?
No.
Or heard of them?
You've heard of them.
I think.
Heard of them.
Well, if we haven't met them, that actually helps a lot. It's definitely one of the Barons.
But we heard of them.
We've heard. I've never met a Baron, as far as I know.
What if it was Wyatt Dumaine?
How much?
What if it was fucking Wyatt Dumaine?
Oh my god. Or what if it was like an early draft of Luther? Or some shit.
And that's why we're still
Nuther?
together.
Luther?
Who do you think it might be?
Well, fuck. Now I kind of want to think it's that.
You want to lean into
but
that?
but for the sake of, because that's sorry. What's our answer? Sorry, I don't want to lock in.
My
anything.
personal one, I'm going to say Wyatt, because I'm just like,
That would be
Hmm.
juicy.
that would be juicy.
I think it's one of the Barons. Either.
Who would be looking for the Tablet of the Gods?
Tablet of the Gods. Well,
We haven't.
Which Baron
How
would you
much-
think?
Well, okay. I don't know them very well. I don't remember a lot because the last time we talked about like all of the Barons was like in the tens
I
of
could
episodes.
say the names of all of them.
I was thinking, well, we've talked about it kind of in a philosophical kind of way. Becoming a vampire is the antithetical thing to being a gray
Mm-hmm.
because you maintain your soul.
But you are
But
like,
you are
well,
dead.
you maintain your sanity, but you definitely give
well,
up
no,
your soul.
but you know what I mean. Like you maintain
Yeah.
your personality and
Yeah.
like you're not feral. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you're feral if you don't fucking eat, but it's like being a gray is literally like your soul is so gone that you're just not a person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fuck are my notes for the
I don't know,
Barons?
vampires seem antithetical to that because they can't be gray.
How much do you guys remember about the sheriff?
The sheriff.
We only heard his name.
We never met him,
we
did
never
we?
met him because he was out of town when we went to see Red.
The sheriff.
What was he doing out of town? Do you remember?
They
The
didn't
sheriff and his lieutenant were out doing shit. Just
So
like
there's holy fuck, where is it?
Well, fuck my idea because my thing was just like Corleone wanted it to be like.
I'm just trying to.
Do you want me to say the sheriff's name?
Yeah.
His name is Sheriff Joaquin Moonecho.
Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Moon Echo.
And
That's
then
Ben's last name. No, I don't. That'd be
it
crazy.
is a character's last name that I have said.
Moon Echo.
Isabella Moon Echo?
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Oh!
Sarah.
Bam, 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 bam!
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Holy fuck.
So it was Ben, Isabella, her brother who's the sheriff, Kraft, and Doc Scarface.
Bro, holy shit.
That's fucked up.
That's crazy.
You're definitely the only person that doesn't remember.
Yeah, because now I'm sure the sheriff is off.
Who's your guess?
My guess was Corleone, but that's just because I like the idea that vampires are trying to go against the eldritch beings.
Do you want to lock in with that?
Fuck no, it's the sheriff, dude.
Okay.
It's either Wyatt Dumay or Mr. Moon Echo.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? I'll be the outlier.
Okay.
I'll go Tyler. Lock it in, Tyler. Coach.
Ben, why don't you remember me?
He wakes you
my
up.
stony
Yeah,
cheeks.
grab my stony cheeks.
Remember.
Remember.
Remember me.
I touch Tyler and it all floods back.
Please tell me sick. Oh.
So you think it's Wyatt?
Yeah.
You think it's the sheriff?
I just hate to lock in. It's so up in the air.
Can we do like several answers?
Give me your top three.
Oh,
Top
God.
three. Tyler, sheriff, one of the barons.
Which Baron?
I don't know, David. There's like 8 of them. Corleone.
There's like
Okay.
16 of them. I'm gonna say Wyatt Dumay, that gray kid from the beginning that got killed by your Lara. And the little hairy-footed hobbit dude that was traveling with Eudorus.
That you killed.
Yeah, that I murdered.
I was gonna say Faustus.
Manny.
Yeah, Manny.
What about Faustus?
Is that one of your top threes?
Lock that
Oh,
in.
actually, Baron. How old's Baron Julius?
He's older. He's not like fantasy race character old.
He's at least 50 years old.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be Baron Julius.
Hmm.
Or are we just unfamiliar with the? I'm thinking it was probably Baron Julius.
It seems probable.
Baron
that
Julius
it's
is the one who put the
barons.
bounty on our heads, right?
He wanted the scroll.
He wanted the scroll. Yeah, that's the thing is, if it is one of the barons, it's either Corleone or Julius because they're the ones who are involved with the scroll.
And they're
Well,
fighting
that's-
the most.
Also, we might just not necessarily know how involved everyone else is.
True.
But David just said it's someone that we're familiar with.
And they
so.
put a bounty on us. Like, he put a bounty on us.
Yeah.
He wanted the scroll that we got to for the vampires. It's probably that motherfucker. It's either that motherfucker, the sheriff, or Wyatt. In my serious guesses.
Oh,
Or
and
Or what?
Or Manny.
Or Manny, yeah. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely Manny your time.
and I've met Corleone.
You've met Corleone?
Yeah, we all met together, right?
No, you met Raziel.
Oh, Raziel. Yeah, I forgot about her.
Okay,
How's she been?
Yeah, how is she? How has she been?
She's good. She's chilling.
but so we met
Taking a
Raziel.
vacation.
We met Raziel, and nothing was said about me.
I think I was gonna tell her about something. She discerned that I was gonna mention. Like, I think I brought you up, but I didn't say what.
Well, she's not like the second hand to Corleone.
Oh, she is.
That's what
No.
That's what I was just gonna say. I don't know how connected.
No, you guys haven't met the second hands yet.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll say Sheriff Corleone or Julius. Simply because I don't know enough about the sheriff
Yeah.
to say no.
Would make sense.
And Corleone and Julius have shown definite interest in all this shit.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem to be like. It seems like you and Isabella got like fucked over.
Yeah.
Because you guys are like the only ones like. Not. Like, if it is the Baron or the sheriff. Which the sheriff. Now that we talk more about the Baron, it feels less like the Baron. Or less like the sheriff.
Yeah. I only said the sheriff just because I don't know shit
I
about
think
that
he's just
motherfucker.
connected via. That's his sister.
Mhm. But the Baron, like Julius, is very involved.
Yeah, that's all we've been fucking hearing
Very
about.
Bro,
Involved.
yeah, he seems like the main perpetrator of a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that's going on.
Fucking
Super involved.
Hmm.
You guys don't even know who the other two barons are yet.
I have it on my other sheet. I think.
We don't got to worry about it, though, because you said we know about these people.
Yeah. Well, I just mean in general.
Yeah. In this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
in
not
regard to
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what their names are.
No, because I never said them.
Oh, I want to know.
We're gonna meet them next episode. I
Imagine-
think.
Say their names.
Say their names, David.
Say it. Out loud.
Speak it.
There's Castian Mora, who's the president, and then there's Baron Bonnie.
Baron Bonnie.
Something tells me these bastards aren't the aren't the fifth that we're looking for.
Yeah.
No, it's Baron Bonnie.
Baron Bonnie.
We meet Baron
man.
Bonnie. Yeah, we meet Baron Bonnie. She's like, "Hey, Ben, how are you?
Hey, it's the editor.
It's been so long."
I ain't seen you since the old tablet of the gods situation we went through.
Hey, remember when we found this tablet of the gods right here?
I got it. Look it.
Remember all those fun, kooky adventures we had?
Kept your diaries, by the way.
Here's all the information you kept down always.
Remember how you always wrote down everything that ever happened? There you go.
Oh my fucking god. Oh, one thing that I don't think we ever said it on the show, but Will gave us all all of our characters like our legendary hero names.
No, I think we talked about it on the show.
I don't think mine has ever been uttered on the show.
No.
What was your nickname?
I said for Mikey's, he was the broken blade of the West.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that yours was said.
Said that
Because
in
I
the
got
parking
Malik's
lot.
broken little sword,
True.
True.
the fucking editor, and what was yours again?
I just want to be the Omen now.
The Omen. Oh my god.
The Pale Omen.
Pale Omen. That sounds scary.
Damn, that does sound
That sounds fucking frightening.
Hell yeah.
F yeah, dude. Holy shist.
Mm.
That was a
Give him a
good.
little massage.
That was a juicy episode of Downtime, fellas.
Yeah, hey.
True. In nomine Patri. Alright, I feel like it's fair to call it there.
Yeah. All right, friends at home, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, Quested Podcast, for our weekly video episodes that get uploaded weekly to our weekly feeds. Weekly. And don't forget to check out our weekly episodes on YouTube weekly. And don't forget to check out the social medias on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Quested Pod, where we upload little reels regularly. And you can also find the merch store there, where you can find plentiful and abundant merchandise.
The way you hit a hard B and didn't clip the mic was so impressive. Somebody hired this guy.
But yeah, you could find some juicy pics there, like the Technicolor Quested mug,
Which also comes in hoodies.
which also can act as a Coke sleeve.
The Coke sleeve Technicolor.
The Coke sleeve Technicolor mug, gotta love it. Does not come with a Coke.
We have to specify
Gotta
that legally.
specify.
I learned that the hard way.
Where's my fucking Coke
I
in
bought
this?
so many of
guys said there
those.
was gonna be a Coke.
Yeah. I ordered so many of those expecting a Coke, dude. I just didn't get one.
My goodness.
Holy shit.
My goodness.
Alright.
Anyway, let's get the freak out of here.
Bye. So much dice in there.